Welcome everyone, you're watching Cruise1st TV, where it's time to showcase phenomenal cruise and stay adventures to the most incredible parts of the world as we open up all-inclusive dream destinations with Derek and Polly.
Yes, we have got a brilliant variety of Norwegian Cruise Line's fascinating worldwide trips coming up, and they all have one thing in common. Each of these trips start in one place and end up in another, which opens up the possibilities of even more travel adventures. Now, if you like all-inclusive in true style, you are going to love cruising with more at sea from Norwegian.
Yes, and that's more than just a drinks package too, as we'll discover as we take you around the Greek Isles and Turkey next August, the Far East in February next year, and our first winter getaway for this November. And we're heading for the sunny Caribbean over 19 nights, flying first to Lisbon in Portugal on the 19th of November to enjoy a night in a hotel here soaking up the city. Would you like a recommendation? They have the most incredible fish restaurants. If fish is your thing, Lisbon is the place to find some of the most stunning fish restaurants. It's a fascinating city, as it is anyway. And after your night in a hotel there, it is time to board Norwegian Star.
Oh yes, how exciting. I mean, she is looking fabulous as well, and you've got such a great itinerary coming up. You are going to love being on board. I think a really great fun thing to do on board is the behind the scenes tour, and it's well worth it. Seeing how the magic happens going behind is really, really great, because I think when you're on your cruise, you kind of take it all for granted, and it's just amazing seeing how it happens, going to the kitchens, how pristine clean they are as well.
Yes, and can I just quickly say, all the work that you were seeing there, it's all been done. Don't worry, she's finished. Don't worry, this was a few years back. But just to show you the massive transformation, whenever they bring a cruise ship in for a refresh, they really go for it. Norwegian now is, I mean, it's always been incredible, but now you can see smart, vibrant places and spaces, incredible.
Super modern, super lovely. Really, really lively restaurants. Then you've got your more laid back ones as well. You've got the buffet dining as well, main dining. Really lots going on when it comes to dining, when it comes to activities. I mean, the theatre on board is called the Stardust Theatre. I mean, I think it's just a great name as well. Great shows. Broadway and Vegas style shows are happening there as well. Shows like Band on the Run, which transports you to the 70s with disco sounds. Brilliant as well. So that's fantastic while you're on board as well. I think as well, a big part of cruising is relaxing. It's being outside. It's enjoying the pools, which there are plenty of spaces to do that. And of course, you're cruising in the Caribbean as well. You want to enjoy that sunshine, which we lovely. You've got the Oasis pool, which is the main pool. You've got hot tubs when you're out there as well. There's lots of lively stuff going on. Star Bar has cocktails, live music, which is lovely. Sugarcane Mojito Bar. I mean, I do love how they've named everything. That's got fresh mojitos. You've got the Blue Lagoon Bar, which is a bit more relaxed. And then if you are fancying something a bit more fancy, you've got Gatsby's Champagne Bar. I mean, they've really just nailed it with names, haven't they?
Well, the good thing is you've got plenty of time to think about it and enjoy all of these places, because we're on board for 15 fabulous nights.
Ooh, you can try every single restaurant. First stopping in Ponta Delgada in the Azores. Great thing to do here, which is on offer, is swim with dolphins. You have to do it at least once. It's just the most incredible experience. They are the most beautiful animals ever. Do what you can. Then you are cruising the Atlantic and you arrive in the Caribbean in St. Martin. Now, here you've got the Sky Explorer chairlift. This ride travels sort of 2,500 feet to the top of St. Martin's highest mountain. Imagine the beautiful views. Charlotte Amalie in St. Thomas. Now, I didn't know they existed, but here you can try underwater scooters that take you snorkeling.
Really?
Like actual scooters that go underwater, and you've got a wetsuit on and like a big sort of helmet that's a glass thing.
That's got to be done.
Very exciting. Day at sea arriving in Jamaica in Falmouth. There are really great shore excursions here. You can book these before or during the cruise. Also, if you just want to get off the cruise ship and lie on the beach, that's absolutely fine as well. It's going to be Georgetown next in the Cayman Islands. Now, on TripAdvisor, the most popular thing to do here is visit the Cayman Spirits Co-Distillery, which involves rum tasting. I can't imagine why it's so popular. You don't want to see how it's made, you just want to taste it, don't you? A day at sea, you'll arrive in Tampa, where you come off the cruise ship and you've got a 2-night hotel stay. I think the most popular thing about Tampa is Busch Gardens. It's a theme park with lots of roller coasters.
Oh, it's brilliant.
Much quieter than Disneyland.
Yeah.
However, if you want to go to Disney, it's only about an hour away. You could do Disney, you can do Universal, do SeaWorld if you want. But Tampa in its own right is lovely. You've got beaches, loads and loads of sports teams if you want to go and watch a live sporting the game, as they say. Bit of baseball, basketball, things like that as well. Lovely. You'll have a great time there. But Busch Gardens, you've been, didn't you?
Oh, love it. It's really, really charming as well. I mean, it's just lovely. And we've got a couple of nights there in a hotel before we then fly it back to the UK. Yeah, Tampa's very, very charming. Busch Gardens is wonderful. It's just a lovely, lovely day to just wander around. You know, whether you're doing the rides or you're not doing the rides, actually there's lots to see and lots to do beside the rides as well. I think it's got the oldest wooden coaster in America as well, and it's pretty good to do, pretty exciting. So this whole holiday, we whizzed through it at a rate of knots. Remember, you've got a bunch of sea days there as we cross the Atlantic as well. So you can enjoy all of the fabulous pools and whirlpools and restaurants and activities and things to do while you're on board. As we go, Lisbon to Tampa, over 15 nights of cruise. And remember, we've got stays in both. So there's a 1-night stay in Lisbon before you cruise, and there's a 2-night stay in Tampa when you've cruised. And while you are cruising, you are all inclusive with more at sea as well, which has got so much included. But let's look at the price for the whole package first, because check this out. £2,099 per person. Now this is luxury cruising, and bear in mind all of that work that we saw happening to the ship happened a couple of years ago, so everything's bright and sparkling and new and wonderful and modern and up to date. And that package includes your flight from the UK over to Lisbon in Portugal. You've got a night there in a hotel, covered and included, and then 15 nights of that all-inclusive Norwegian Star cruising with your premium drinks package, which is just fantastic. You've got a Wi-Fi package there, 3-night specialty dining package for the both of you, which is just superb. And you have shore excursion credits on your account for every port that you go into. And you are sailing some wonderful places as well, across the Azores and then across the Atlantic to 4 fabulous ports in the Caribbean, ending in Tampa in Florida. And then we have 2 nights there in a hotel before your flight back to the UK. When you talk about everything that's included there in that long list, you kind of think, wow, how did we do that for that kind of price tag in this day and age, which I find myself saying all the time. That is amazing. And remember, a deposit today will get that secured for you as well. Here's the overview of the entire offer and a reminder of what's included. It really is so good. I mean, the More at Sea package, where you get the drinks and the Wi-Fi and the excursion credits, and in this case 3 nights specialty dining package as well, which is more if you upgrade as well. It can be as many as 5 nights of specialty dining if you go up to the balcony upgrade. Look at how good the ocean view upgrade is there as well, bearing in mind that's across a 15-night cruise. Justsaying.com. Just saying. It's good, isn't it? So if you like the idea of that, give us a call right now, 0800 953 4700. It's going to the Caribbean at the right time of the year. It's got a lovely stay in Tampa. I just love being in the States full stop. I just find the whole place fascinating. Even if it's a really, whether it's a really exciting place or a place where there's not so much going on, I just find the place utterly fascinating. It's incredible. And listen, here at Cruise1st, we have been in this funny old travel business for over 25 years now. So that means that lots of you trust us.
With 25 years of travel expertise, when booking with Cruise1st, you can be sure that you're dealing with the cruise specialists. We work with all the major cruise lines to bring you the most comprehensive selection of exclusive deals you won't find anywhere else. We can tailor-make the perfect holiday for you, adding hotel stays and exciting land tours so you can fully immerse yourself in the destinations you're visiting. As a fully bonded member of APTA and ATOL Protected, you have the peace of mind that your booking is always safe with us. We've been here on your TV screens for over a decade, making us the longest-running cruise channel in the UK. We make it easy to budget for your dream holiday. With many of our deals, just pay a deposit today and you then have until your due date to pay the balance. Plus, we're one of the highest-rated cruise agents on Trustpilot, with over 7,000 independent reviews. This all means that you can be fully confident when booking your next exciting adventure with Cruise1st.
And if you've never done a cruise holiday before, oh my word, you have no idea what you are missing in terms of the breadth of travel you can do within a short space of time, cover so much ground. And I hate to say it again, but it's so true. You just unpack once at the start of your cruise and then go to all of those places without having to pack, unpack, repack.
Whilst in luxurious surrounding. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Right, let's cruise on for some more all-inclusive trips now with Norwegian Cruise Line. And we're on board this time with Norwegian Viva, cruising the Greek Isles, Turkey and the Adriatic. Now we start our 12 nights next August by flying over to Venice in Italy, and we'll start things with a 2-night stay in this uniquely glamorous wonderland. This is on my hit list of city breaks. I'm definitely going to go this shore
Holly,
next.
I can't believe you've never been to Venice.
Oh,
You've been everywhere.
I have been everywhere. I haven't been to enough places in Europe. I mean, I really want to do the gondola ride. It's got to be done, hasn't
You'll
it?
love Venice.
Gondola ride. I want to go to the art museums while you're there. I want to enjoy the architecture and the food. Oh my goodness. So yeah, you could just
And the
order
ice
things
cream.
I want. Ice cream as well. Well, it's not called that, is it?
Gelato.
Gelato. Right, then you are going to join Norwegian Cruise Line, Norwegian Viva. Fantastic for your cruise. I mean, this is an amazing ship with lots going on, lots of lovely outdoor spaces, great swimming pools. But activity-wise, we'll see it in just a moment, is the Viva Speedway. Now, this is a racetrack at sea, which is just phenomenal. I can't believe it. And I know if Derek was on board, he'd be on it non-stop, like the big
all day.
that he is.
All
Fantastic.
day.
That's more my style, enjoying those beautiful infinity pools. Look at that as well. You've got a water park while you're on board as well. When I'm cruising though, I think my favourite thing to do is to book a spa treatment, because you've got the opportunity to obviously go and get pampered, but then you've got the time to relax back in your cabin or, you know, in the spa area, which you just don't have in normal life. So perhaps that's more your thing, or perhaps you're like Derek, and there you go, there's the Speedway. You like adventure and entertainment and doing stuff, and that's a fantastic thing about cruising with Norwegian Cruise Line. They do have all that adventure. They do have, I mean, look at that, all these fantastic activities for all ages, but then there are so many places to just relax as well and enjoy yourself.
Do you know one thing, Polly, though, as well? What I love doing, yes, I love doing the thrills and the racetracks and things like that, but I also love just wandering around as well and just watching the things that just pop up. It might be special pop-up shopping events, it might be a live performance, it might be wandering past somewhere with a live game show going on. I love the fact that every time you just wander around, whenever, day or night, you're like, oh, there's something different that I haven't seen before.
Absolutely. I love on board that there are theatre shows every night, because that is just such a treat, isn't it? And it's got Beetlejuice, the production on while you're there as well, which will be brilliant. So your first port of call is Dubrovnik in Croatia. Now, are you a Game of Thrones fan? Because I am, and there's a great tour because so much of it was filmed here. You see King's Landing and the city walls and the Red Keep. If you haven't seen Game of Thrones, just what is she talking about? If you know, you know. It's Kotor in Montenegro next. Now, don't forget, as well as all these top things to do on your screen, you're also able just to get off the ship and take the day at your own leisure. Have a wander around. Don't feel like you've got to do what we tell you to do. You take this at your pace and you enjoy it. It's your holiday. A day at sea, and it's Piraeus in Greece, which is the port for Athens. So much going on here. You've got the iconic Acropolis, the ancient ruins of ancient Agora, the exhibits of the Acropolis Museum, the National Archaeological Museum. I could just go on. It's amazing. Santorini is next. Oh, it's the most beautiful island ever. There's a great tour. It's called the Selfie Tour, and you go with like a selfie expert and get amazing photos, but they show you how to like pose and do the lighting, which and all that thing, because I really don't know how to pose at all. Rhodes is next, and you must take the trip to Lindos while you're there. It's dominated by the amazing Acropolis, top of a hill overlooking the bay. The views are breathtaking, and if you sort of feeling like you want to do the walk to the summit, you can do that as well. Kusadaki in Turkey. Here, why not have a Turkish bath? We've heard of it. You unwind in an authentic hamam, and I've done this before in Turkey. They kind of like scrub you. It's the weirdest experience, but you've got to do it once, haven't you? Thessaloniki in Greece next. It's got a beautiful seafront, and it's really close to all the lovely attractions like the White Tower, the statue of Alexander the Great. Great museums there as well. It's a really, really beautiful place to visit. Istanbul in Turkey is next. You've got an overnight onboarding port, which is quite exciting. Here you've got Hagia Sophia wishing column. Now, legend says if you stick your thumb in the hole and then it gets wet, your wish will be granted. So that's worth visiting. But you've got palaces, museums, incredible mosques while you're there, and an underground mosque too. After that overnight, you come off the cruise ship and it's your flight home.
I'm still reeling from the selfie tour, to be honest with you. How ridiculous. But, you know, I mean, that's the kind of thing, actually, that probably we're all quite bad at. Could maybe do with a little bit of expert guidance and help. I don't know. I don't think you'd have any problems, Polly, there.
I'm terrible at taking selfies. I think it's amazing. I just am such an awkward poser. That's why I picked it out. I was thinking, brilliant.
Yeah, you could learn something as well. What a wonderful list of destinations. What a lovely ship to do it on as well, of course. One of the more recent additions to the Norwegian fleet. And if you like the sound of this and you want to get the plans in place right now, because this is for next August, remember, deposits today of just £199 each will absolutely seal the deal and lock in the price tag that we have for you, which is here at $2,699 per person. Now this is a luxury trip right the way through. Some great destinations, plenty of time in those destinations, and some amazing excursion ideas while you're there as well. Now that package broken down includes your flight out to Venice. You've got a 2-night hotel stay there, and then you've got your wonderful all-inclusive 10-night cruise of the Greek Isles, Turkey and the Adriatic coasts to and from Ravenna, with full premium drinks package included, 2-night speciality dining package, Wi-Fi and shore excursion credits for every one of those wonderful ports that you'll be calling into. You end the cruise with an overnight in Istanbul, which means you spend the night on the ship while you're in Istanbul before you fly back from Istanbul the next day. Of course, you can extend your stay in Venice or in Istanbul by talking to the team. We can add a couple of nights there for you after the cruise if you fancy it. So here's the overview. It's a great opportunity actually, because it does start in one place and ends in another. So we've got your stay in Venice all sorted, 2 nights, but if you wanted 3 or 4, fine, no problem. We can adjust that, not a problem. And Istanbul, if you've never been before, there's lots to see there. If the overnight on board isn't enough and you want some extra time there, a couple of nights in a hotel there, we could certainly, again, sort that out for you. So call us now on 0800 953 4700 and our team will basically tailor the holiday the way you want it. And of course we can do that with all of the major cruise lines around the world. Now I'm just having a little flick through one of our latest fabulous brochures full of fabulous offers, including with Norwegian as well. I see a nice one here going Hawaii to Alaska. And if you want to know more about that or have your very own brochure sent to you, we send them out on a regular basis. Just to go to Cruise1st.tv and there's a link there where you can sign up, pop your name and address in and we'll send one out to you, or you can browse the digital versions on that page as well at Cruise1st.tv. Fantastic, lovely. They're very good as well, actually. I do look forward. I know now the address they come from on the back of the envelope. You know when you dread the post normally? And I know this one comes from a certain PO box. I think it's in Peterborough or something like that. And I'm like, oh, it's the new Cruise1st brochure. Yay.
Okay, it's time to round off the show with our last offer. I can't believe it's flying by. And it's a Far East adventure. It's going to take you Malaysia, Thailand, the Philippines and more over 18 nights for next February. Flying first over to Singapore, and we start things off with a 2-night hotel stay. Amazing. It's an amazing place. Now, this is Gardens by the Bay. Those tall structures you just saw are electronic trees, just fantastic. Look at those waterfalls. It's a great place. You've got temples, you've got shrines, you've got Raffles Hotel. For something different, you've got the Edible Garden City on the 7th floor of Funan Mall. How exciting is that? It's like an urban farm open to the public, but it's the kind of place you're just going to wander around and be amazed and have all your senses come alive. It's a great way to start this holiday. So after your 2 nights there, you're going to join Norwegian Sun for your 14-night all-inclusive cruise. Oh, just look at her. She's absolutely beautiful, isn't she? This is really going to be a fantastic holiday for you. And a big part of cruising is the dining. We're looking at some amazing options in front of you. And I think what's lovely when you're cruising is the opportunity to try all the different foods on offer, things you perhaps wouldn't normally have at home. You've got buffet dining, you've got main dining, which in itself is just amazing. The 4 Seasons and the 7 Seas. They have a daily menu, but they also have, wait for it, a chocoholics night. Oh, amazing. That would definitely be for me. But you've got other stuff as well. If you want to do some speciality, you want to treat, there's great offers on board. You've got sushi, you've got Le Bistro for some sort of signature French dishes as well. Los Lobos Cantina. Oh, Mexican food, my absolute favourite as well. Cagney Steakhouse, teppanyaki, where they do the cooking in front of you. There's just lots, something different really for every night while you're on board, which is lovely, whether you want to do relaxed dining or do something more fancy.
Makes you so hungry, wasn't it, watching this show? Always makes you so hungry because you're always looking at food and restaurants and
I know,
steaks
watering mouth. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, activities-wise there, a bit of golf while you're on board as well, which is fantastic. Taking the time to do all these things, you know, whether you want to take part in a quiz or maybe the more kind of grand style shows as well. You've got Stardust Theatre. Oh, hang on. I've just got to talk about the spa treatments. The spa on board is absolutely amazing, and you're on holiday. This is the time to sit back and relax. Right, I'll go back to the Stardust Theatre today.
Why not?
Why not? It's got a great show on board called Rock You Tonight. It's real high energy with rock classics like Queen, Journey, The Who. There's also live game shows when you're on board as well. Live Deal or No Deal. I mean, if you feel brave enough, you could be one of the contestants and take part. There's prizes to be won as well.
Deal.
I don't know if I'd have the confidence. Maybe a glass of wine first. But there's kind of entertainment that's more low-key as well. Things that pop up. Maybe it's a singer, piano around. You know, there's lots going on. There's great shopping on board in the Galleria shops. Massive selection of fashion, duty-free goodies as well. And there's a lovely art selection in the Park West Gallery as well. So lots going on there. Cruising now, your first stop is Koh Samui in Thailand. Here you could go and watch a Muay Thai match at Fetch Buncha Stadium. Now, it's a high-energy local sport and you could get ringside seats. That would be fab, wouldn't it, to go home and say that you've done that. Bangkok next. Now here they've got Sea Life Ocean World. Now we've sort of you've heard of your Sea Life centres at the Trafford Centre or in Blackpool or whatever. This is like no other. The kind of marine life they have there, the shows, absolutely epic, the best one you'll ever see. A day at sea, you'll arrive in Ho Chi Minh in Vietnam. Great tour is Saigon on a motorbike. It's a specially guided tour. You're all on motorbikes, little mopeds for the day. You tour the city, you go to Monkey Island to see a mangrove forest. Nha Trang is next. Here, just outside the city that's worth visiting is Ba Ho Waterfall. Absolutely beautiful to see, but it's also a spot for you to go swimming and just kind of relax at the natural wonder of this lovely waterfall. A day at sea and it's Puerto Princesa in the Philippines. Oh, there's a great boat journey here and it takes you 8.2 kilometres on an underground river. So, you know, if you can kind of handle that, it's amazing. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. You've got natural cave formations, beautiful. Boracay is next. Here there's gorgeous beaches. You know, if you fancy just getting off the ship, relaxing for a few hours and taking in the sun and enjoying this lovely warm weather. Do you know what? Do that. Don't feel that you've got to do everything that we're suggesting. This is your holiday. You just take it easy. Coron is next. Okay, so one of the main attractions here, if you fancy it, is the hot springs. It's one of the very few saltwater hot springs in the world. And nearby, there's some gorgeous beaches to enjoy. You've got Bali Beach and Cabo Beach as well. Sounds great, doesn't it? Day at sea, and it's Hong Kong in China. Here you've got the Lam Suen wishing trees. Now, it's a pair of trees near a shrine in Hong Kong, and they're said to grant wishes, but only the ones that they hold on to, as well as all the amazing things going on in Hong Kong. A day at sea takes you to Taipei in Taiwan, where you get your flight home. How fab is that itinerary? I
love it, actually. It's different. There's a couple of ports on there that I don't feel that I've seen on cruise itineraries before. Just a really interesting route as well. It's taking in hot spots that you really would want to see, and it's taking you to the somewhat slightly unusual as well, places that maybe you've never even heard of before. Coron is a new one on me in the Philippines, but the pictures looked absolutely wonderful and I'd want to be taking those pictures in that port. Lovely. So this is another exciting opportunity for early next year. Deposit available, of course, which is great news. So you can get the plans in place today of just £199 each. Now, here's the price for the entire package, and then we'll break down what that includes, because remember, not only have you got your flights sorted out as well, but it's an all-inclusive cruise, so really, really good. Actually, you know, traveling out to the Far East, if you've ever tried it before, just booking your own flights and hotels and just trying to do a couple of different places, the budget soon runs out of control. This is brilliant. So this includes your flight out from the UK out to Singapore. because that's where the cruise starts, of course. You've got 2 nights in a hotel before your cruise starts, and your cruise is 2 weeks long, which is great. All inclusive on the Norwegian Sun, cruising the Far East to Thailand and Vietnam, and really interesting ports in the Philippines, Hong Kong, and ending in Taipei in Taiwan. Now, while you're on board, you've got a Wi-Fi package, shore excursion credits for every port, a 3-night specialty dining package, and premium drinks are all yours. Lovely. And of course, the cruise ends in Taipei and we fly back to the UK from there. And that's why that is such a great deal, actually. Again, the variety of the travel here is just brilliant. You can always add more nights in Singapore, and if you've never been to Taipei before, then maybe you'll think of a couple of nights in a hotel there as well. That's why our amazing team are here. 0800 953 4700. Here's the offer overall and what's included, and indeed your upgrades if you want to treat yourself a little bit further in terms of your cabin on board Norwegian Sun. You are there for 2 weeks. You can have the most amazing time. Having extra specialty dining already included in the More at Sea upgrade is brilliant. Premium drinks is always a nice thing to enjoy, because it's not something that at the back end of the cruise you think, oh, it's the last night of the cruise, I need to check, I need to go and pay off the account, I need to go and find out, you know, what's the damage. And you don't have to worry about that, because it's kind of, it's all there before you even get on board, which I think is superb. Low deposit today will secure that for you as well, just £199 each. And you know what, if you love your cruise holidays, but maybe you're thinking of venturing out just that little bit further, honestly, you know, do it with us here at Cruise1st, and you know that you're with a company that you can truly, truly trust. And don't take my word for that. Let's hear from some of our customers.
What is not to love about cruising? It's waking up every day with a brand new adventure at different ports. People say, you do it every year, and I say yes. And it's not what you think. You must try one. You know, it's wonderful, absolutely wonderful. And they think it's very, very expensive when it's not. When you break it down, you'll get an absolute bargain for your food, your drink, and the luxury of being on this boat.
When you're on a cruise, you're away from everything. You're away from all the problems, as long as you leave your phone at home and you know, all that stuff. You're away from people, you're away from cooking. No cooking, no takeaways, nothing like that. You can ring up and get something brought to your room quite easily, no problem.
Do it while you've got whoever your significant other is in your life. Because one day they might not be there, but then you will have the knowledge of knowing you can carry on cruising and carry on enjoying and having a good time.
And it's funny, isn't it, when you think about good times and you think about, you know, what happens over your life. I was just thinking, actually, we were talking before we started this show off camera, and we were talking about, you know, like what we've got planned over the weekend and whatever. And sometimes, you know, our day-to-day lives can sound just like a little bit less than interesting. I always think...
Are you bored by my plan?
No, not at all. But I'm just thinking, when you're on a cruise, you are having the most fantastic time. And that's the time when you want everyone to say, what are you doing this week?
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you. Because a cruise just suddenly makes your social life and your week just amazing, doesn't it?
Taken care of. And you're in kind of like this bubble. Everyone's in it with you. This kind of exclusive, luxury, fun. And like, we just saw all the incredible dining options. Like that lady said, you could even have it brought to your room if you want to. Yeah,
it's brilliant. There's being on holiday, and there's really being on holiday. And that's, I hope, what these shows will show you, just how cruising is such a complete and amazing holiday. Listen, we're out of time. Back again soon.
Bye-bye.